Have you ever looked at a man, not particularly handsome, not especially rich, and yet women seem drawn to him like bees to honey? What does he have that others don't? Here's the truth, it's not luck. It's psychology, and more importantly, it's mastery of the mind, something ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius practiced daily. Before we dive deep, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and watch all the way through, because the 7 tricks I'm about to share can literally change your love life. This is not just another pickup video. This is about transforming how women feel about you. At the core, there was once a young Roman soldier, unknown to the world, standing in the shadow of greatness. He didn't come from nobility. He wasn't the strongest nor the wealthiest. But he had a secret. He carried the wisdom of the Stoics. He studied the words of Marcus Aurelius late into the night. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. He realized that the greatest power wasn't in pretending to be someone attractive. It was becoming the kind of man a woman naturally craves. And so over time, without ever chasing, begging, or performing, women were drawn to him, curious, obsessed, intrigued. Today I'll share the 7 psychological tricks, rooted in that same timeless wisdom and modern psychology to help you become that man. 1. Become the unavailable flame, the scarcity principle. Have you ever fallen for someone so deeply that even a single text from them made your heart skip a beat? You know what I'm talking about, that electric excitement, that butterflies in your stomach kind of feeling, when you couldn't wait to see their name pop up on your phone screen. Now pause for a second. Think about why you felt that way. Was it because they were always available? Always texting you first? Always saying yes? No, it was because you didn't know when they'd reach out. It was the uncertainty, the mystery, and the space that made your mind race. That's the scarcity principle at work, and it's one of the most powerful psychological triggers, especially in love. Let me take you into a story that might feel eerily familiar. There was a guy, let's call him Alex. He wasn't the tallest. He didn't drive a flashy car. He wasn't smooth with words, but women were drawn to him like moths to a flame. One evening at a friend's house party, Alex met a girl named Mia. She was stunning. The kind of girl who turned heads when she walked into a room. They talked, laughed, shared stories. There was real chemistry, but then, just when she thought he might try to take things further, he excused himself, smiled, and said, "I've got an early morning tomorrow. It was great talking to you." He left. No begging, no pushing, no chasing. And Mia couldn't stop thinking about him. Why? Because Alex did something most men never do. He didn't give away his presence easily. He guarded it, and in doing so, he became the unavailable flame, something so warm and magnetic but never easy to grasp. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human psychology. We chase what we can't fully have. When something is always available, we value it less. When it's rare, we obsess over it. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Most men lose that power the moment they meet a beautiful woman. They drop their standards, their routines, their boundaries just to keep her close. But women don't want a man who sacrifices his value. They want a man who protects it. Now ask yourself, have you ever made yourself too available to someone? Maybe you replied instantly. Maybe you canceled your plans for her. Maybe deep down you thought being always there would make her love you more. But instead you became predictable, easy, comfortable. Here's the truth. Desire lives in space, not in closeness. You must become the flame, radiant, warm, intriguing, but never desperate to be held. Let her come to you. Let her earn your attention. Because once she does, she'll value it in a way she never valued anyone else's. And if this sounds like your story, if you've been burned before because you gave too much, too fast, stick with me. Because in the next trick, you'll learn how to protect your emotions like a true Stoic warrior. 2. Master emotional detachment, the art of Stoic control. Have you ever cared so much for someone that their smallest action could ruin your entire day? A late reply, a cold tone, a story you saw on their social media. And suddenly you feel that sinking feeling in your chest, that storm of doubt, insecurity, and panic. If that's ever happened to you, then this part of the story is yours. There was a man named Daniel, a good man, the kind who texted good morning and stayed up just to talk to her. When she was happy, he was ecstatic. When she was distant, he fell apart. She became the center of his emotional world. And when she started pulling away, when the text became shorter, when the energy shifted, he began to panic. He questioned himself. He overthought every word. He sent longer messages, tried harder, and in doing so, lost himself. Now listen closely, this is where most men fall. But what if I told you that the key to attraction, to love and to power is emotional detachment? Not coldness, not cruelty, but the ability to remain centered, no matter what storm she brings. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." In other words, nothing can break you unless you hand it the power to do so. Daniel eventually realized this. After weeks of chasing, of sleepless nights, of emotional turmoil, he stopped. He deleted the old conversations. He went to the gym. He reconnected with his mission. He stopped reacting to her and started responding to himself. And then something strange happened. She noticed. She noticed the silence. She noticed the shift in energy. And suddenly, she chased him. You see, emotional detachment is not about pretending not to care. It's about knowing you will be okay with or without her. It's about becoming the kind of man who is so grounded, so calm, so composed, that a woman feels safe around him. Why? Because if you don't need her to be happy, she'll never feel the pressure to perform. She'll start chasing your calm. She'll crave your presence, not because you beg for hers, but because you've mastered your own. Now I want you to ask yourself, how often have you let someone else's behavior control your emotions? How many times did your day crumble because of a single message, or worse, no message at all? And how would your life change if nothing could touch your peace? This is not about playing hard to get. It's about being hard to shake. Because when a man masters emotional detachment, he becomes a fortress, unbreakable, unmoved, unshaken. 3. Speak less, say more. Mystery triggers obsession. Have you ever poured your heart out to someone, told them everything you felt, only to watch them drift away like your words meant nothing? It hurts, doesn't it? You thought opening up would bring them closer, but instead it felt like the more you gave, the less they valued you. Why does that happen? Let me tell you a story you might already be living. There was a guy named Ryan, good guy, genuine, honest. He met a girl named Eliza, smart, beautiful, captivating. On their first few dates, he wanted to impress her, so he shared everything. His dreams, his fears, his past, his pain. He thought honesty would win her heart. And yes, there's value in honesty. But here's the truth that Ryan didn't know. Mystery triggers obsession. You see, in the ancient world, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Ryan tried to control her perception. He over-explained, overshared, overtalked, thinking it would bring her closer. But here's what really happened. He left no space for curiosity, no tension, no mystery. Eliza didn't dislike him. She just knew him too soon. And when the story ends too fast, there's nothing left to chase. Compare that to another kind of man, the one who speaks just enough, the one who lets silence stretch a little longer than expected, the one who tells a story halfway, then lets her fill in the blanks. That man, he stays on her mind, because when a woman doesn't know everything about you, she starts to imagine, and imagination is powerful. She'll start creating stories in her head, piecing together your mystery, and once she starts imagining, she's emotionally invested. You don't need to say much to leave a mark. You need to say the right things, and let the silence do the rest. Think about it. Have you ever been more attracted to someone who gave you little pieces of themselves, rather than the whole puzzle at once? Have you ever spent hours thinking about what someone meant, rather than what they actually said? That's the secret. When you speak less, every word carries more weight. You stop trying to impress and you start to intrigue. You don't give her your whole story, you let her discover it. Mystery is magnetic. So the next time you're on a date, try this. Ask more than you tell. Pause more than you explain. Smile more than you react. Let her wonder. Because the man who leaves her with questions will always outshine the man who gives her answers too easily. 4. Mirror. Her desires, not her behavior. The secret of emotional alignment. Have you ever matched a woman's energy? Thinking, if I act like her, she'll feel safe. She'll like me more. If she was distant, you pulled back too. If she was sweet, you opened up. If she seemed cold, you tried to stay cool and unaffected. But deep down, you weren't being you. You were adjusting, reacting, playing this emotional chess game where you always felt one move behind, and somehow, despite your effort to match her, she still pulled away. Sound familiar? Let me tell you a story that might feel like your reflection. There was a man named Jason, confident, capable, but in love, he got confused. He met a woman named Sophia. She was soft and feminine, but unpredictable. One day, she would text him excitedly, wanting to see him. The next day, silence. So what did Jason do? He mirrored her behavior. When she became cold, so did he. When she acted distant, he pulled away even more, thinking, if I mirror her, she'll respect me. But the more he mirrored her behavior, the more disconnected things became, until eventually, they stopped talking altogether. Here's what Jason didn't realize. You don't build attraction by reacting. You build it by connecting to what she truly desires beneath her surface actions. Let me explain. A woman might act cold because she wants to feel safe. She might test you with distance to see if you'll chase or collapse. She might become moody, hoping you'll stay grounded. And if you simply mirror her behavior, you miss the chance to lead the moment with strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Jason was doing the opposite. He was strict with her, punishing her coldness by becoming colder, and lenient with himself, abandoning his groundedness just to match her moods. But what if he had done the opposite? What if when she became distant, he stayed warm and centered? What if, instead of withdrawing, he remained unshaken and secure? What if, instead of reacting to her behavior, he responded to her emotional need? Because that is the real game. You don't mirror her behavior. You mirror her desire. She wants to feel safe. Be her calm. She wants to feel desired. Give her depth, not desperation. She wants to feel seen. Listen beyond the words. This isn't manipulation, it's mastery. When a woman senses that you understand her beyond what she shows, when you don't get shaken by her emotional weather, that's when she falls. Not for what you say, not for how you look, but for how she feels when she's around you. So stop being reactive. Start being reflective. Be the mirror to her feminine longing, not her shifting moods. And if you've ever had a woman slip away because you didn't know how to hold space for her, don't worry. 5. Use the power of emotional contrast. Create the roller coaster she craves. Have you ever met someone who was so good, so kind, so consistent, that eventually you just didn't feel anything? No excitement, no spark, no thrill. And maybe, once in your life, you were that person. The good guy who never stirred the fire. The man who always said yes. The one who always agreed, never argued, never challenged. And still, she left. Why? Let me tell you the story of Adam. Adam was the guy every girl said they wanted. He planned dates. He gave compliments. He never raised his voice. Never made her cry. Never disappointed. And yet, the woman he loved slowly faded away. First, it was fewer kisses. Then less eye contact. Then eventually the "we need to talk" message. He was shocked. But here's the painful truth Adam had to learn. Women don't fall in love with comfort. They fall in love with contrast. Because emotions are not born in consistency. They are born in the contrast between stillness and chaos, silence and speech, mystery and intimacy. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." And women don't fall in love with the facts of who you are. They fall in love with how your presence feels, how your energy shifts, how you surprise them, how you make them feel alive. Adam only ever showed one side, safe, sweet, and soft. But that's not enough to trigger obsession. You need to show emotional contrast. Let me explain. Be strong, but also vulnerable. Be warm, but also challenging. Be calm, but every now and then, let your passion shock her. Make her laugh hard, and then pause with silence that makes her feel. Hold her softly, and then pull her close with fire in your eyes. Tell her she's beautiful, but don't say it every time. Let your presence be a dance between light and shadow. Because when a woman never knows what version of you she'll get, not because you're unstable, but because you're dynamic, she becomes emotionally invested. It's not about being toxic. It's about being real. Think about it. Have you ever felt bored in a relationship because it was too predictable? Have you ever craved the rush, the spark, the unexpected moments that made you feel alive? So does she. Women crave emotional roller coasters, not chaos, but contrast. And the man who can shift between depths, the one who can be still water and roaring fire, He's the man she remembers when the room is silent. He's the man she can't stop thinking about at night. So ask yourself, are you emotionally flatline or emotionally alive? Because when you master the art of emotional contrast, she won't just want you, she'll feel you. 6. Lead with purpose, not desire, the magnetic power of direction. Have you ever felt like you were chasing her? Texting first, initiating the plans, trying to read her mood, her silence, her vibe, and in the process, losing yourself? Be honest. Because if you've ever loved someone so much that you put yourself on pause just to keep her, then this story is about you. There was a man named Noah, driven, focused, and filled with ambition, until he met Emma. At first, he still hit the gym, still worked on his goals, still chased his mission, but then she smiled a little more, texted back a little slower. Suddenly, he started shifting his routine, skipping workouts just to see her, delaying projects to talk all night, and slowly, he stopped leading his life and started chasing hers. He thought it was love, but it was actually desire taking the wheel, and that's when everything fell apart. She lost interest, she pulled away, and Noah was left wondering, what did I do wrong? I gave her everything. Here's what he didn't know. Women don't follow men who chase them. They follow men who chase something bigger. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. A woman doesn't fall in love with your longing. She falls in love with your leading. When you make her your mission, you lose your masculine center. Because the masculine is not meant to follow. It's meant to lead with purpose, clarity, and calm fire. The truth is, Noah didn't lose Emma because he wasn't good enough. He lost her because he made her the destination, instead of taking her on the journey. Desire is fleeting. Purpose is magnetic. A woman is drawn to a man who's going somewhere. Someone who wakes up with a reason bigger than her. Someone who makes plans and invites her into his world, not the other way around. Ask yourself, are you leading your life with direction or following hers with hope? Are you building something so powerful that she wants to be part of it? Or are you sitting still, waiting for her to validate you? The man with purpose doesn't beg for attention. He commands presence. He doesn't panic when she pulls away because he's too busy moving forward. He doesn't need her to be happy, but that's exactly why she wants to be near him. Because women don't fall for the man who revolves around them. They fall for the man who revolves around a mission and carries them with him, not behind him. So if you've ever felt lost in love, like your world started spinning around her, it's time to return to your purpose, to build, to rise, to lead, not for her, but for you. And when you do that, she'll feel it, she'll see it, she'll chase it. 7. Withdraw strategically, the obsession trigger. Have you ever given a woman everything she wanted? Your time, your heart, your constant attention, only to watch her slowly become bored? You were always available, always ready to reply, always trying to show how much you cared. And in the end, she vanished like you were never even there. If that's ever happened to you, you're not alone. Let me tell you about David. David met a woman who lit up his world. Her laugh made him forget the noise in his head. Her eyes, man, they felt like home. He wanted to do everything right. He replied fast. He complimented her daily. He canceled plans to see her. He gave her everything, except one thing, space to feel his absence. He never gave her a moment to miss him. You see, Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." But David wasn't calm. He was emotionally needy. He confused presence with constancy. He thought love meant always being there, but in reality, the human heart needs contrast to value what it has. We only appreciate warmth when we felt cold. We only crave a presence when we've experienced its absence. And that's when David realized the truth. Sometimes you have to pull back, not to punish her, but to provoke her emotions. This is where the strategy of withdrawal comes in. It's not about playing games. It's about amplifying your value through intentional distance. When you disappear briefly, you give her time to feel the silence, to miss the conversations, to wonder what you're doing, to realize how much your energy filled her world. Think about this. Have you ever been addicted to a song, only after not hearing it for a while? That's how the mind works. We don't become obsessed with what's always there. We become obsessed with what we fear we might lose. So how do you do this strategically? Don't reply instantly. Let her wonder. Take time for yourself. Go days focused on your mission. When she pulls back, don't chase. Withdraw calmly. And when you return, come back with depth, strength, and purpose. The key is calm withdrawal, not emotional collapse. Don't ghost her. Don't play cold. Just shift the energy. Because when you do it right, she won't just think about you. She'll crave you. She'll start asking, "Where is he? Why hasn't he called? Is he thinking about me?" And just like that, you're in her mind. Not by force, not by desperation, but by discipline. The man who knows when to step back is the one she'll never stop stepping toward. So if you've ever felt like being available pushed her away, now you know, sometimes the most powerful move is silence. And the final two keys in this journey will tie everything together. You're close. Let me take you back to that Roman soldier we mentioned earlier. Years passed. He rose through the ranks. Not because he begged, chased, or played games, but because he embodied value. He walked into every room not needing attention, yet it followed him. He spoke with calm certainty. He didn't chase women, they chased the mystery within him. Eventually, he wasn't just any man. He became a legend among men, a stoic warrior, a leader, a lover. You too can become that man. But you must remember, it's not about tricks. It's about transformation. These 7 psychological insights are tools, but their power lies in who you become when you live them. Master your mind, master your mission, and the rest will follow. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.